So I finished watching Young Justice, season one, almost 28 hours ago. But I had a double, so I couldn't put out a review. A double, by the way, at work. I normally only work like 4 to 5 hours. Today I worked 6, but that's like a rare case. Um, but a double, you generally anywhere from 8 to 9 hours, and it's in such an awkward time. If it were normal time, I'd still have time in the day to pump out reviews. But in fast food, schedules are a bit different than if you have an office job. So I basically wake up, go to work, get it over here, play a video game or two, go right to bed, do the same thing the next day. Holy fuck. So, yeah, I thought Zach just fucking threw my giant ass Batmobile into the floor. I was about to slap the fucking. He's pretty fucking white, but I was about to slap the color out of him. Anyways, so, like I was saying, my work, it's just awkward, right? I wake up at 9:30. I get ready to go out, at like 10-ish. I wait up there. I go to work at 11. And then I have to take my breaks up there too, because my breaks are not that long. And when I finally come home, I've got 2 hours before I go to bed, and I'm just mentally bankrupt. So I generally just play a video game or watch some TV. And that is when I finished the show. So yeah, season 1 review. I really like what season 2 is doing so far. I kind of forgot how good the show was. But basically, so the show starts out with heroes going up, the Young Justice, the sidekicks teaming up with their mentors. Batman and Robin go after Mr. Freeze. Flash and Kid Flash go after Captain Cold. Aquaman and Aqualad go after Killer Frost. Green Arrow and Red Arrow go after Icicle Jr. Sounds familiar, does it? Or sounds like there's a pattern there, doesn't it? Sounds like there's almost a bunch of ice villains coincidentally invading other places. So yeah, that's kind of one of the mysteries they set up, is like, why are all these ice villains around here? But another mystery that they uncover is Cadmus. Cadmus Labs has a clone of Superman called Superboy, who is meant to replace him in the event that he ever dies. The show says fall in battle, but have you guys watched Reign of the Superman? Gives you a pretty good idea of what's supposed to happen there. Watch the Death and Return of Superman. That's a really good fucking movie. Or just watch the two movies separately with The Death of Superman and Reign of the Superman. But yeah, and then eventually Artemis joins up the team because Red Arrow's being a bitch, and they reveal why in the final episode. But they needed an archer. So Artemis. And then Megan Moore's Martian Manhunter's niece, apparently. You guys watch Supergirl, right? That shit ain't a niece. That shit's a whole nother fucking species, basically. Still Martian. But, woof. I see Martian Manhunter coming over here, and I'm like, oh man, he's kind of scary. I hope I don't run up on him in a dark alley. And then I see Miss Martian, I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Nah, I'm just kidding. That's actually part of the show's thing, is like, she's self-conscious about it, but in the end it really doesn't matter to anyone. Like, Superboy knew, even though he still seems shocked when she finally does it. So I guess he didn't know entirely what her deal was. But Aqualad, it's really impressive. Everyone's jumping back in fear when she transforms. Aqualad's just like, alright, so you look different. Big deal. And then Robin. He's really cool in the show. He gets his own little character arcs. I'm surprised Captain Marvel, Shazam, wasn't able to join the team. Because, like, it would have been really cool if he was booted out of the Justice League for a minute and he just got to be on the team. And the villains they bring in are pretty cool. I'm not, like, particularly fond of their version of the Joker, though. he's just sort of doing his own thing. I did like some of the fight scenes, and I did like some of... It's so weird. He just says stupid jokes, and then... I don't know. The Injustice League is a pretty cool team. And the Light have some pretty cool motivations, which I'm not going to spoil here. And Vandal Savage, they ultimately, in the end, they win, sort of, for a second there. And even when they're defeated, they still kind of have a few things over the Justice League. But yeah, basically there's this mystery of who is the mole on the team, and it turns out that the mole is Roy Harper, Red Arrow. Because apparently the real Roy Harper is like in cryo sleep and missing his arm or something. So this Roy Harper is a clone created by Cadmus, just like the Superboy. And then there's Match, aka B-Zero, which is very similar to Bizarro, and he's another clone of Superman. He's more like Superboy than Superman, but he's a rage machine. I'm pretty sure Match is just Bizarro. Yeah, the show is good. I really want a fucking video game that lets me play as all of these characters. And the mentors. Just imagine, like, the game starts out just before the events of the show, and it ends just after the events of Season 2. That'd be fucking sick. And you get to play all the way through, and it tells the story of Young Justice Legacy. That'd be sick. And it has Arkham gameplay or something. I'm asking for way too fucking much. But just imagine, like, the first 2 levels you get to play as Batman, and the first 2, and then later you get to play as, like, the Flash and Aquaman. And then you're back to playing as the Young Justice League. They could do a Force Unleashed thing where you play as Darth Vader and you're ungodly powerful. And then you get sent to play as Starkiller and you're just a weak little bitch. But then by the end, you've surpassed your mentor. So then, like, you could have that final fight scene. You could have, like, a sparring practice where, like, Nightwing just fucks up Batman or something like that. Maybe they have some sort of disagreement. And that, patches the way for Young Justice Season 3. Because there's shit that happens in between Season 2 and 3. Don't fucking tell me they're in. There's shit. Also, it'd be kind of cool if they found a way to make mind raping an interesting mechanic. Because Miss Martian does this thing where she just rapes your mind and then you're fucking stuck. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's not in Season 1. And yeah. So, I've just made, half this video about a Young Justice game that doesn't exist. But, yeah, so basically this game is fucking awesome. I mean, this show, English. This show is fucking awesome. It's so good. It deals with heavy subjects. I really like where they took certain characters. It went in directions that most shows don't normally touch. It's not quite as mature as something like Batman the Animated Series so far. But even Batman the Animated Series lost its mature tone at some point. But the stories they tell are much more serious, much more grounded, and much more sophisticated than something like Batman the Animated Series. And yeah, I'm running out of stuff to say about it. But all the characters are awesome. There are some characters like Rocket and Icon that just fucking show up at some point and you don't know anything about them. Zatanna, I feel like doesn't have enough time in the show so far, so maybe it's Season 2. I'm kind of shocked about how much I've forgotten about this series, so when I get to see it again, or so since I've seen it again, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, this show's awesome, right? I remember how awesome it is now. But originally, I kind of just forgot about it, right? Can't wait till I get to Season 3, though. So Season 2 review should be in maybe 2 weeks? 2-3 weeks? Yeah, sorry. I've already watched the first episode. But yeah, I haven't finished, anything else. So, yeah. And I'm going to put some Injustice gameplay over this, hopefully. I got some videos with Lobo and stuff like that, so... Lobo's in Season 2, by the way, so... That's cool. You fucking bastage. You rat bastage. What the fuck is a bastage? Anyways, yeah, I give this show a 9 out of 10. A fucking 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10s are rare, but here's hoping season 2 or season 3, right? A 9 out of 10. At the very least, an 8.5 out of 10. But I'm gonna say 9 right now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Maybe I'm just on a Young Justice high right now. And I'll make a video about that game later. If it ever is to exist. Alright, everyone. Here's my review for Young Justice Season 2. Is this fan too loud? We'll see what happens if I turn it off. But basically, I finally finished it, like, literally 5 seconds ago. So, Kid Flash, here's a little recap for where we were in Season 1. The team discovers Superboy. The team, being Robin, Aqualad, and Kid Flash. After their disappointment in finding out that their mentors don't trust them with basic information, so they form a team. They discover a clone of Superman called Superboy. Well, his name is KR. Basically the name of kryptonite on the elemental table, or periodic table of elements, or whatever the fuck it's called. And they find, as the series goes on, they find more mysteries and stuff, and they get more people into their ranks. Zatanna, Miss Martian, etc. This comes to a head when they find out that the Light has been manipulating everything since the series began, and they eventually find out that the Light is a lot smarter than they thought they were. They use the Injustice League as pawns, and they stop the Justice League at every chance they get, outsmarting them. And we see the team grow into their own heroes, separate from their mentors. And at the end, the team has to fight the Justice League as they are under the control of Vandal Savage. Business as usual. There's a missing 16 hours of time that the Justice League were under the influence of Savage. But there's your basic recap. Now, where we are, it's 5 years later. Robin is Nightwing. Aqualad is a supervillain. Miss Martian and Superboy are no longer together. I didn't reference that earlier, so, hopefully you guys know some of this stuff. Things are just a lot more different than when we left them. But there are new mysteries to solve, and the Light has a new partner. And Aqualad is not actually a supervillain, but he's trying to infiltrate the Light's ranks to figure out who this new partner is. So he kills, with heavy quotation marks, Artemis. Obviously she's not dead. And they end up finding out, but apparently everything went according to plan. Plans change, apparently. And yeah, we get new characters like Blue Beetle, who I think are awesome. But really the interesting thing is that just, bam, a 5-year time difference. And then there's the game Young Justice Legacy. Yeah, it's so fucking weird, but it's neat. hold on. So yeah, sorry, I was editing a video together. We get new characters like Blue Beetle, Green Beetle, and Lagoon Boy. But the more interesting stuff is what we get as villains. We get more members of the Light. Ocean Master's gone and now replaced with Black Manta. And, hey Diva. Hold on, guys. I thought I turned off my phone, but apparently I did not.
Yeah, you work better.
So just here's some really weird ambience instead.
Oh, I got you. You do have it, but maybe you shouldn't.
Should we get back to the review now? Oh, I thought I stopped the recording. That's awkward. Back to the review. We have Black Beetle, the Reach, the plot twist with Red Arrow, which was set up last season, but not Red Arrow, Speedy, and Cheshire, and Red Arrow are together. Red Arrow just fucks off at the end of, or like halfway through season 2, which is kind of weird. So, yeah. But yeah, the Cadmus situation, we get to see a lot new, we get to see more of the people of the Light at the Light. There's Ra's al Ghul, Deathstroke, who looks really cool. My only thing though is he has really long hair, and Deathstroke is a master tactician. A master tactician would not have long hair like that. I guess he's like, man, if anyone's ballsy enough to grab my hair, they're gonna have to fear my comeback. So solid logic, but still weird. Anyways, basically, the whole season is about Nightwing and the team uncovering the Light's mystery, or the Light's mystery plan. And we get some pretty cool moments out of that. There are these runaways. They're just fucking awesome. And the writing in these shows are awesome. Kid Flash dies at the end of the series, which kind of sucks. Supposedly, he just went into the Speed Force. But he's not in Season 3, from what I've heard. And he's not in, the Speed Force hasn't been referenced in this series. We know for a fact that the plan was originally to have the Speed Force, but that might have changed, and he might just be dead. Either way, I think there's a time skip of some sort in Season 3. So, that's weird. I guess we'll find out. 8 out of 10. And I don't know if I scored the last season, but it's also an 8 out of 10. So, yeah. This is a little rushed, or it might sound a little rushed, but I just really didn't have much to say on this season. I loved it even more, but only like slightly more than the last season. It's really just more of the same, but it cuts away some of the crap. But I thought some of the stories felt a little drawn out. So, there are actually less episodes in Season 2 than there are in Season 1, so that's also kind of weird. But yeah, both seasons get an 8 out of 10. Can't wait to see Season 3. I'm going to watch the first episode right now.
Thinking too much, Junior. Got you figured out.
So in Young Justice Season 4, Phantoms, I imagine the dead are coming back to life. I don't know if they're doing Blackest Night. That would be kind of cool. But instead of calling it Phantoms, they probably would have just called it Young Justice Blackest Night. I mean, yeah, that kind of spoils what you're doing, right? But it's not like they tried to hide Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Arrowverse crossover. So, I mean, they were just like, fuck you, it comes out next year. And then it came out next year. And Young Justice Season 4, even though I know it's not the point of the show, I really want to see their take on certain Arrowverse characters. Like Felicity Smoke, who is in the comics as Firestorm's stepmother, and also a defense attorney, if I remember correctly. Not exactly the Chloe Sullivan type of character from Arrow. John Diggle is now in the comics, but he's nothing like Spartan from Arrow. And I think they could totally do something cool with that. I think they should try to keep Diggle as separate from Jon Stewart for Young Justice, because we already have a Jon Stewart. And also Diggle, as cool as it is, the reveal that he is Jon Stewart, Diggle is nothing like the comic book Jon Stewart. I guess his morals and his heart are in the same place, but it's just not the same character, so I kind of wanted to see them do something separate. Let's see, who does the Flash have that's not in the comics? Joe West really doesn't work. Joe West doesn't really work, but they could do a character similar to him, I think, just not Iris's dad. Then the character from Supergirl. Oh, I do want to see XS show up in season 4, hopefully. As like Bart's sister or something. But then so the Legends of Tomorrow, I do want to see Sarah Lance show up, but I don't really know how that would work. So maybe just White Canary, and it'd be cool if White Canary started off as a villain. Another character would be, dude, if Bebo shows up, I'm gonna just rage shit myself. Oh, but the two characters I want to see the most are not Arrowverse original characters. One of them is a DCAU original character. Jonah Hex.
Anything you want. Our issues
And dramatic pause, wait for it. Batman Beyond. Terry McGinnis.
There's only one way you're getting out of this.
Come at me. That would be like a time travel episode and a half, wouldn't it?
And I choose my words carefully if I were you. Listen closely. No, please, don't do this.
So.
Without fingers, I point. Without arms, I strike. Without feet, I run. Who am I?
But yeah, Terry, like, I'm thinking Terry gets sent to the past and Jonah Hex gets sent to the future, which means both of them end up in present day. But also I want it to be their own versions of those characters. I don't want it to be the DCAU Batman Beyond. That would be a pretty cool fucking crossover, I guess, but not really what I'm looking for. Ooh, or they could do like a Jimmy Timmy Power Hour episode. I remember from like Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents when they would cross over, they had like the different art styles being used. You had the 3D animated stuff when you're in Jimmy Neutron's world, and the 2D animated stuff when you're in Timmy Turner's world. So like that. So we get to see what the DCAU designs would look like in the Young Justice world, and we get to see what the Young Justice designs look like in the DCAU world.
bystanders.
That would be kind of cool.
They're clearly not his main
But really, I'm
target.
just looking for any version of Batman Beyond. I'm not looking for a specific universe version. Although I do expect him to be somewhat similar to, or rather quite similar to the DCAU one.
Time for a distraction.
But I just want to see takes on characters that haven't shown up yet in this universe, like Amanda Waller, Rick Flag, Harley Quinn, Jason Todd. Jason Todd exists, but we haven't seen him. XS, I mentioned her earlier.
Give me an answer.
We can't get in. The front
Characters like them that we haven't really seen much of.
barricaded with blackjack tables. How should I deploy when we're inside?
Oh, Damian Wayne and Talia al Ghul, I want to see them.
Gear up. Make a front
I don't
assault.
think Talia al Ghul is showing up.
Fire away.
I haven't watched season 3, and I don't remember her in season 1 or 2.
You're completely insane.
But yeah, and I may make a script on a video game that takes place during that time, or during the events of that game, or during the events of the show.
Wait for my signal.
And that would be really cool. But I'm currently prioritizing another script that I'm working on. Not that these scripts will ever go anywhere, just a little pet project to see what I can do, and what I'm capable of. But it's not like I'll be writing for the next Injustice or the next Mortal Kombat or the next
I'm a little busy right now, but I'll see if I can fit you in.
DCEU film.
Hostage. Shoot the hostage.
Although I have finished a script on a Justice League 2 that crosses over with the Arrowverse and results in Darkseid actually winning against the heroes. I mean, dude, as I was writing the script, I was like, this is so fucking cool. You got Grant Gustin's Flash teaming up with Ben Affleck's Batman. Yeah. After WB was insisting that now everything they work on is connected, I was like, holy fuck. Why don't we just have Darkseid get the anti-life equation and that lets him control life in the entirety of the DC metaverse. So I'm not going to tell you how all of that works. But yeah, I thought the script that I was working on was fucking sick. But this script that I'm working on for a game, I'm not gonna say anything. But it's pretty dope. Anyways,
Heard stories in the streets.
I really want to see those takes on those characters that we haven't seen yet. And I hope some characters get more focus. Like
Very impressed with you.
Batman Beyond and Zona Hex would probably be really small parts, like probably 1 or 2 episode type deals.
Gotham's
Type of deals.
criminals have become zealots and thugs in cheap suits. And you
But perhaps,
find a wannabe in my chair.
like what I'm saying here is like I think Batman and Green Arrow should get more focus. Superman, Wonder Woman as well. I know it's not their show,
Allow me to broaden your spectrum.
but it feels weird that they don't do very much.
Supposedly the world's greatest detective. Yet here you are.
Especially Green Arrow.
My mercy.
I felt because we didn't see a whole lot of Green Arrow and Red Arrow teaming up together that the subplot of Arsenal waking up from his coma, I felt that subplot would have been better had we actually seen more of Green Arrow and Red Arrow in action.
Let me show you how it was done back in the day.
And then there are a few episodes where Batman and Robin are teaming up, but we don't get to see it. That always bothered me. Robin is not in the episode at all, and neither is Batman. They're just teaming up, going somewhere else.
just doesn't do
I
it
actually
for me.
do like the fact that the episodes can exist without certain characters ever showing up. That's a really good way to tell a story. I was watching one episode of season 2, and it legit just has Blue Beetle and the Runaways. You hear Nightwing's voice at one point, but that's it.
Follow the power lines. There must be
Um,
a weak point.
So I've always liked that element. But I would actually like to be able to see some of these characters doing their thing. So. But yeah, Harley Quinn, Livewire,
You broke the cage.
you know, all of these are characters that I want to see in this universe. And Batman, Superman, Green Arrow, Flash, Wonder Woman, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Atom, Captain Atom, I mean. They're all characters I want to see more of.
Justice. Maury deserves a trial in a court of law.
Oh, especially Shazam. I actually think it would have been kind of cool if the Justice League decided to vote out Shazam. And he was put on the Young Justice team. And then reinstated after a few episodes to be on the League. And then villains that they go with in this show are actually really cool. They've got Simon, who outside of the Smallville Season 11 comic, I have never seen anywhere. And yet he was a main villain for a little while. Not like main villain, like took up the entire season. But he was a main villain in the sense that like he was reoccurring and he was not someone to fuck with. But then you had like the Brain, and I can't remember what the gorilla was called with the guns, but the Brain, like outside of Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go, I haven't seen the Brain in anything, except he is in Injustice, not as a playable character, but in the background of one of the levels. Hopefully I have Injustice footage playing on this video, but yeah. So more villains that we haven't seen that much of, in terms of obscurity. Like, they can't really do Starro. But they can do Polka Dot Man, Rainbow Raider, what was the other one I had in my head? Reverse Flash. He's not really obscure, but we haven't seen him. So I think I really want to see some of these characters that we haven't seen yet. Also, if you bring in Batman Beyond, I want to see Blight and Scarecrow's son. And Dee Dee and the Dee Dee twins. What are their names again? I can't remember. I'm gonna feel really stupid in a minute, I guarantee it. Boopy boop boop. Harley Quinn granddaughters. Delia Dennis and Deirdre Dennis. So yeah, Dee Dee twins. I have a coworker named Delia. I didn't know that was her name. Or that character's name. So the ouch. But yeah, the those characters from Batman Beyond's world I want to see. Yeah, so there are a few things I want to see in this show, because of how they can handle it and what they can do with it. But yeah, I'm just super excited for season 4. Because I watched a little bit of season 3, but for whatever reason I was not able to continue watching it. Like, physically, like, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just that I literally could not watch it. I got, like, really busy for a while, I think. I just did not have the time. But now I've been rewatching all of the episodes. So, that's what's up. But I still want a video game to come out that has Arkham-style gameplay. The first few levels you get to play as everyone in the Justice League, and then the rest of the game, with some exceptions, you play as the Young Justice League, and then then you get to beat the shit out of the League at the end of Season 1 and prove that you're stronger now. Or if you choose to play as the League, then you can beat the shit out of your team and put your dick on the table. I don't know if you guys heard that weird noise, but that was my stomach. I checked the recording. It definitely captured that, but I'm not really sure if you guys can hear it. Anyways, that's all for today. Or all for now. Gonna just peace out real quick. I need some fucking caffeine and some food. It was a dark and stormy night, such as this. All because I pissed on Zeus's island, Mount Olympus. I claimed it as mine, and now Zeus is pissed. So, anyways, son of a motherfucking bitch. Oh yeah, I completed Injustice. I finished watching Young Justice season 3, and the show is great. It was one really shocking moment with Aqualad, who's now Aquaman, making out with another dude whose name I don't remember. I thought it was Garth, but it is not Garth. But I was like, oh, that's like really weird and interesting. Not that it's like weird and bad or anything, but it's like my man's has had 2 failed female relationships, and then this one chick comes and kisses him on the cheek, and I'm like, oh, they banging. And then no, he's dating another dude. So that was like really weird, just surprising. But yeah, I can't wait to see what they're doing in Young Justice season 4 already. But this show was 26 episodes and was fucking great. Darkseid did not play as big a role in it as I had hoped, but it seems like the light is not finished. Whatever they have planned in Phantoms will continue this story. I think Phantoms might actually be, because this one is Outsiders. The first is just Young Justice. The second is Invasion. The third is Outsiders. And the fourth is Phantoms. And Phantoms, Darkseid might be bringing back some people from the dead. I really want to see a time travel element. We see Talia with little baby Damian. It would be cool to see Damian in the future. But you can't do like too much time skipping. So just do time travel. And if you do time travel, you can have Batman Beyond show up. I really fucking like my boy Terry McGinnis. He does not get what he deserves. DC released a comic called Future State, and they got a random ass Court of Owls dude who's so fucking crazy to be the new Batman when you could have just fucking got Terry. What the fuck? Yeah, see, it's a dark and stormy night. I gotta go to work at like 5 to 8:30 for some reason. Probably gonna stay there till 9. And for some fucking reason, you got this weather just being a bitch. But yeah, like I was saying, the Damien, so that's interesting. There's a red hooded ninja that says Grayson, and Raish is just like, cool, your memory's coming back. So I think Phantoms is gonna be like some of the dead characters coming back. They could be doing Blackest Night, and that'd be fucking sick. I don't know why you would call it Phantoms. I'd have just called it Blackest Night right off the bat. Tells you what you're going into. Doesn't really spoil too much because they can still go in various different directions. But they called it Phantoms, which is kind of weird. It also could be Phantom Zone. But like Darkseid doesn't seem like the type of motherfucker to be trapped in the Phantom Zone. So, I mean, he also doesn't seem like the kind of motherfucker to control the Phantom Zone. And whatever they're doing involves Darkseid. And Kid Flash is not dead. Likely. So, I guess, so Kid Flash, Red Hood, they could be going anywhere with that. There are some dead characters that they can bring back. Halo apparently wasn't dying, which I think is a missed opportunity. They should have fucking killed her off. Not because I don't like the character, but because like that would have cemented her place on the show. And if your next season is going to be called Phantoms, you can just bring him back. But yeah, there are a few characters that have died. Some that we knew about, some that we don't. And the Grotto has a bunch of holograms of fallen heroes. Like Blue Beetle, Ted Kord, and Jason Todd, Robin. So yeah. But the show, right off the bat, brings back some characters and doesn't like waste them like the other seasons did. Like Lobo is fighting Wonder Girl and Batgirl in season 2, and we never see him again. But now Lobo gets some actual spotlight in season 3, admittedly just for like one episode, but still he's like way more prominent. But there are characters I do want to see come into play. I think it would be cool for Time to be a factor in one of these seasons. And so, like, a dark future or something that they have to prevent, but everything falls into place exactly as it's supposed to, so they actually have to go back in time again and make sure it doesn't happen. So, like, they fail the first time and then they succeed the second time. And the time travel element would explain the Speed Force, which could bring Kid Flash back. But the characters I want to see are Batman Beyond, Damian Wayne, Red Hood, Doomsday, and Necron, I guess. I can't remember who I was going to say, but Necron works too. So you can mix Blackest Night with something else. But the thing about it is that, man, the thunder's getting real fucking loud. Not loud, but heavy. Like, I can feel the house shaking. But the time travel element. So you have Doomsday show up, and he would be... like, someone would get a vision of the future. Or maybe Impulse... Probably Impulse would get a vision of the future. And, so Impulse would see Doomsday killing Superman. And almost killing Superboy. And then Doomsday just walks off and wrecks some buildings. and then he sees Necron bringing Superman back as his ally, and something like that. And so some of these characters show up, and in trying to go to the past, they get stuck in the future, and then we get to see Batman Beyond. And Batman Beyond's like, hold on, I gotta come back with you because you guys have fucked up everything, and I'm gonna have to be the one to fix it. And so they go back to the past, like before the Vision, and they unfuck a bunch of stuff, right? So I think that could be a really cool setup. But instead of dwelling on what this season, or what the next season should be, let's get back to the review because I got carried away there for a second. I really like the story of the metahuman trafficking. It's a shame that the way that they did censor some of it out, sort of. You have these kids being drafted into a war that they have nothing to do with, and then turned into monsters. And Black Lightning ends up accidentally killing one of them. Technically, one could argue it's not his fault, and I definitely argue that. And that's what the show argues, but he feels responsible. It was his lightning that stopped the girl's heart. However, what actually happened is she was going through heart failure because of her mutation. So, technically, Black Lightning triggering the heart failure is not him killing the child. The child was killed by her mutation. She wouldn't have been in that situation. If Black Lightning had zapped the fuck out of that child, having known it was a child, and it not being a monster, that child would still be fine. But it was a monster, so he zaps it, and it dies. But it would have been better, I think, if when she died, she turned back into a child. I also thought that the increase in violence was really distracting, because it only affected Halo. Like, yeah, there were characters that were getting killed all the time, but outside of, spoilers, Brion / Geoforce killing, Delam, hold on, my phone's being weird. Outside of Brion killing Delam, there wasn't really much violence or killing anyone that wasn't Halo. Halo got a spear, or a kunai on a chain type thing, through her chest by Lobo. Then she got her neck cut open by something. And then she got her neck snapped in her debut episode. So the show's great, and the violence is amazing, but it would have been better if everyone got a little bit more of that. And the way I actually remember it, but apparently it doesn't happen, is I remember Nightwing cutting off Lobo's fingers when interrogating him, but that apparently does not happen, so that's really weird. That kind of violence would have been great. Nightwing knows that Lobo would heal back from that, so he could just be like, give me some answers or I'll continue chopping. Like, one might be, like, say let's on the off chance that Batman is opposed to breaking bones. If he fought Wolverine and Wolverine did not have the metal skeleton, since he can heal, Batman would be like, well, I'm going to fucking break all of these. And then I'm going to break them again. And then I'm going to break them again. And then I'm going to reenact breaking them again. So, yeah, I mean, Nightwing could have chopped off his fingers. That would have been sick. Oh, actually, there's one instance where the violence did amp up quite a bit. Cyborg gets fucked up by Silas Stone's machine. And, yeah, he gets, like, crazy fucked up. The violence was super huge there. Yeah, this show is amazing. Season 3 is probably the best season. Like, they just got better and better. Like, like, Season 1 was really fucking good, minus a few episodes. Season 2 was slightly better. And Season 3 was way better than Season 2. It just keeps getting better. And this, like, lack of censorship, where they can show, like, Aquaman kissing another dude. They couldn't do that on Cartoon Network, which is kind of stupid. Like, Steven Universe got banned in one country for having a perceived lesbian relationship, despite technically not having genders in Steven Universe with gyms. So, but the fact that you can show all that, and the fact that they don't have to worry about language or violence, means that this show can just be more of what it was always meant to be. It doesn't have to be what the censors want it to be. There's nothing being censored. I'm pretty sure they could show nudity if they wanted to, but I don't think they want to do that. Okay, cool. My thing is done. Hey, so I'm back. I had to check that out. But yeah, the show gets to go in dark places. Like, I don't think the previous season had heroes going bad. I could be just forgetting something. And I definitely know that heroes weren't killing anyone, and there was, like, no question about that. Like, but Brion, despite his actions being painted in a negative light, I think Brion was right in killing Delam. He literally just fucking says, "This war of mine will never be over as long as I draw a breath." And Brion's just like, "You know what? I believe you." And he just fucking kills him. And everyone is like, so, like, the team is like, heroes don't kill. And everyone around is just like, why not? When there's no other option, why not? Because this dude was just proving to be too fucking powerful. He could kill people. He was running, like, metahuman trafficking. If anyone deserves to die, it was this dude. I mean, we have the Joker over there. But there was just something sick about this dude. He's ruling his country with an iron fist. Nobody fucking likes the guy. He's a fucking war criminal. Brion killing him is just like, well, guys, I did what everyone wanted to do. Like, what was the fucking team's plan? Legit, this dude, Delam, is encased in stone. And Brion's about to kill him. But the team's like, heroes don't kill the villains. It's not how this works. And Delam just escapes. And so Brion cases him again. And he's like, it's over. And he's like, only if you kill me. And he's like, you know what? Fuck you. And he kills him. That dude was literally imprisoned, escaped, and imprisoned again. And then killed. That's probable cause right there. That's resisting arrest. And also, he killed children. Let's just get that straight. This dude needed to be fucking taken off the list, alright? That's just how that works, right? On Tinder, when you swipe someone, whichever direction you swipe, that's, like, a good. Like, he needed to be swiped the other way. I don't fucking do that shit, so I don't fucking know. But, dude, he was taken off the list. He was just wiped the fuck out. That's how it needed to end. Brion went a little off the deep end, though, after doing that. But only because his friends rejected him for doing so. I mean, Beast Boy's like, dude, you're off the team. I'd have just been like, well, fuck you then. You're just gonna let him keep doing that. You're the bad guy now. A robot cannot harm humans or by inaction allow harm to come to humans. And this dude's like, if I just imprison him, he's gonna get out and do it again. So you kill a motherfucker, right? You have someone dead to rights and they find a way to get away and they've done all this bad shit, fucking kill them. Alright, that's what I would do. But yeah, yeah, so I'm really interested where that goes next season. But the League of Shadows thing and the Red Hooded Ninja thing, I'm pretty sure it's Red Hood. That doesn't go anywhere this season. Probably will next season, but it's really weird. And then the Darkseid and Vandal Savage thing goes fucking nowhere in season. It was set up at season 2 and it didn't go anywhere in season 3, in my opinion. It set up the metahuman trafficking and it set up. You got to see a little bit of their plan play out, but like, it's all in the background. I was expecting them to be the main villain, but really, Granny Goodness and the Light were the main villains. Darkseid was just kind of fucking there. And I mean, not even. Do we even get to see anyone actually fight Darkseid this season? But yeah, good show. I just hope that they follow up on their promises in Season 4. We know in Season 3, the original Season 3, Wally West was supposed to come back. It was supposed to be like, oh, look, he went into the Speed Force. And the Light or Darkseid was supposed to have a much bigger role in Season 3. But obviously, after they spilled the beans on what Season 3 was going to be, they decided to start over from scratch and redo it. And it came out really good. It's just some of the promises that they made didn't go anywhere. It was like they just said fuck it and skipped Season 3 and made like Season 3 prelude. And I'm fine with that. I just hope Season 4 is more of the Season 3 that we were promised. But like I said, the season is way fucking better than Season 2. Which is slightly better than Season 1. So, I gave them all 9s. But I'm going to have to give this one a 10. Alright, guys? A 10. Booyah.
Any idea what?
No, but it'd be safe to say they didn't come to terms.
Thanks. That's a help. I'm Gotham born and raised, you know. My dad ran a store in the shadow of City Stadium. I just wanted to say it's a real honor to meet you. I do have something I want to ask, though. The criminally insane.
I've been doing a lot of thinking, and a zombie apocalypse would be fucking sick.
There's something in you that pulls
Like,
you towards the danger.
I'm just saying. Gives the earth the nice reset it needs.
You can't go too
The dead start to rise, and you get to blow up some fucking corpses.
Most people just get up and
Like,
walk
I'm
away.
not gonna dig someone up
I'm not most.
and blow them up. But if they dig themselves up, it's fair
I
game.
think I know you a little better now.
Right? Like, how am I wrong? I had a coworker talking about the vaccine, and she's like, I just don't want to become like a zombie or something. And my other coworker, my friend, he's like, I've gotten both vaccines, and I have nothing. I had no side effects whatsoever. And she's like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, I guess I'll get one. And she's like, I just don't want to, start eating people's brains and whatever. Because, the zombie apocalypse is the last thing we need. And I was just like, dude, why not? Blown up, or, why is that the last thing we need? Blown up corpses would be fucking awesome. And she's like, fine, you know what? After I get the vaccine, I'll just stick around with you. I was like, fuck yeah. Blown up corpses. Man. Nah, but honestly, facing off against hordes of the undead would be fucking sick. Go down like a badass. I also don't understand why people... why would you hide a zombie bite? I'll just off myself, honestly. Cause by offing myself, I'm saving everyone else. There's a thing in religion, you're like, oh, you're going to hell if you off yourself. Why? Why? And two, by offing myself, I saved maybe 3 guys. Because I'm not going to tear into those 3 guys. Not that big a deal, dog.
What an eventful
That's just a bunch of random zombie-related tidbits, I guess.
liberty of preparing some refreshment.
But yeah, I hope Resident Evil 8 has zombies in it again. Resident Evil 7 didn't have zombies. It just had weird mold creatures.
Maybe music.
I got Resident Evil 8, by the way, but I have not played it yet. I'm in the middle of doing a Let's Play for Resident Evil 7. And I just did all of the banned footage stuff, which takes place before the events of the game. So now I'm going to play the game. Originally it took me maybe 5 hours to beat that game. It should only take me 3 maybe now?
The Riddler's puzzle
So,
box.
yep.
It's ready when you are.
Let's get to work.
But yeah, and then I'm going to do... I'm going to try and do stuff with more stuff with commentary, honestly. This playthrough does have commentary. As will my Spider-Man playthrough.
AKA Lady Arkham.
It's just so much easier to get commentary
Leader
on the PlayStation. I just gotta make sure it comes out sounding right.
The Penguin. My oldest friend. Harvey Dent. He was a friend. Once. In the end, Harvey couldn't make a single decision without consulting his lucky coin. He's in Arkham Asylum now, with the rest of the criminally insane. Selina. She'll stay away if she knows what's good for her. No explosives detected, no radioactivity. Nothing dangerous at all so far. Computer, run another scan. I want to be absolutely sure this thing is safe.
Also, I took the liberty of digging up everything I could find on the agency. There's plenty here. Know your enemy and all that.